Hello everyone. As it turns out, the end is the beginning. I was actually going to start this 2 minutes early, but OBS decided to throw a hissy fit on me and close down, and then I started streaming and it had the wrong stream key because YouTube reset the stream key again. But anyway, I'm here now, so welcome one and all to Show Boobs. No. Foley's late, he's just sonically discharged. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. It was going to be early. But anyway, I'm here now. And I'd like to point out my new fancy Foley class. If you look down here, Foley class Elcar's Compliments of Dystopian Guy. Did a fantastic job on them. I love the TOS aesthetic, so thank you very much. Hey Cap, what did you think of those beauty shots of the hero ship? Pretty great. The ship hasn't really grown on me yet, but I mean, hopefully it will. But yeah, they were pretty good. Fleet Pots whip back $1.99, 51 likes at the start. Heck yeah. All right, guys, everybody smash that like button right away. Let's get those likes up through the roof. If you guys have anything you want to say and you want to make sure that I see it, because the chat I'm sure is going to be pretty busy tonight, make sure you send me a super chat. It's very important that I be able to read out your comment or question on the air. So that's a great way to ensure that that happens. But yeah, I'm going to go on the record here and say that this episode was better than last week's, at least in my opinion. I'm sure Samuel won't agree with me. He thought that last week's was really good. He thought that it was better than the first episode. I, of course, disagreed with him. Yeah, I liked it. I just liked you. Oh, Mark. Unless you're my pug, I don't think that is actually what you did. But liking, yes, make sure you hit the like button. 111 of you here. We should get to 100 likes, no problem. Let's do it. Zeraxis, though, $5. A captain is never late. He arrives exactly when he needs to. Also, will you be streaming more Bridge Commander tonight? Not tonight, because by the time I'm done this, I'm pretty tired, and I probably won't want to play any Bridge Commander this evening. No, would be my guess. So let's hope and pray that to the internet gods that the internet is good tonight, and hopefully all those issues have been addressed. If not, just you're gonna have to refresh and stick with me, guys, because we'll get through it one way or another. So let's see. Prime 1351, $10. Got paid this week and missed the last one, so here's a chat for the cap. Also, like the new character and so far loving the show. I also really loved the new character, the Star Trek version. Yeah, you can hear me okay, but the image is going to freeze. I guess so. Again, it's saying video put low, but that usually clears up, so just bear with me, guys. But yeah, I liked Rios. I thought he was actually pretty fantastic as a character. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. And yeah, and I love that his EMH and his ENH, his emergency navigational hologram, are both versions of himself. One's English, one's Irish, and of course, at least according to the subtitles, and if you kind of hear it a little bit, I guess he's got a bit of a Spanish accent, apparently. So yeah, I'm just going to power through the video issues. As I say, they usually clear up, and I have no idea why this is a thing, so I apologize, guys. Other lives I do are fine. It's just a thing. But so anyway, yeah, I love the way this started off with the 14 years earlier. We see essentially the demise of Captain or Admiral Picard as he tenders his resignation. It's either you accept our new plan, and they mentioned a bunch of ships at a bunch of different locations, pulling some ships out of mothballs and things like that, in lieu of the Mars fleet being destroyed. It would still be not be enough, but it would they'd be able to at least try. Um, and Chaz says, I don't understand all the hype over the sunglasses. Well, the problem is she's a Vulcan, apparently. Vulcans have two sets of eyelids. They have an inner set of eyelids that protects them from the harsh sun of Vulcan because their sun is much more brutal. So there's no way that a Vulcan Commodore on Earth would need sunglasses. Unless they're super secret spy sunglasses with X-ray vision or something. Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $1.99. 107 likes already. Sweet. Hashtag Picard Like Spike. Yes. Jersey at $5. Liked Rios more than I expected. Raffi not so much. Dialogue felt forced and her personality felt manufactured. Dialogue is the show's weakest link, in my opinion. Yeah, her character did seem a little off to me. I wasn't sure how to say that, basically, but so yeah, her character seems a little off. Rios, though, I really like. I know I'm going to like this guy. Just from what we've seen so far, I'm really digging his sense of who he is. I love that he's a former XO of a ship which Starfleet erased from history, which is interesting because I want to find out that story. But the fact that he was Starfleet, and Picard says, "You're Starfleet through and through. I can smell it on you." I love that. I think that's going to be a great, and it's kind of like I said, it's Star Trek's version of Han Solo. I think Rios is a little bit cooler. um, just because I mean Han Solo used to be a Imperial officer or whatever before he quit. So the sunglasses are to show she's a Romulan. Well, Romulans are descended from Vulcans, so they would also have the same kind of genetic inner eyelid. Um, Prime 1351. Trekyards also not a fan of the space vape. Yeah, but I can forgive that. We've seen a lot of Starfleet over the years, not much civilian, so not a huge issue with that. SWTX Chaser $2. Captain Rios had an expanse vibe to him, in my opinion. I wouldn't know. I actually haven't watched much of The Expanse, so I will take your word for it, and I'm sure Jeff will be all over me saying, absolutely, you gotta watch The Expanse. And I know I do. I understand this. I'll get around to it. Fiddleheads puts in $2. Maybe Commodore O had a Riemann grandmother. See, that's the thing. Riemans are sensitive to light because their planet was always in darkness, essentially. So I would buy some kind of Riemann connection with her, or maybe she's a mirror universe because we know because of Lorca that they're sensitive to light, which is bullshit. But whatever. Dave Ford puts in €2. That ending and theme music was perfect. I totally agree. And I was right. I called it. That's how the episode was going to end, with that ship warping out. And Samuel was wrong. He called it. He said that it would start aboard the Borg vessel. I said it would start exactly where it started. So maybe she's sponsoring a sunglass company. You never know. You never know. So there's a few things that happen. Agnes shows up, and after having run into Commodore O, which makes me think that now she's actually working for Commodore O. Commodore O kind of strong armed her into being a bit of a spy, which she's going to be reporting back to her, whatever. And then near the end of the season, she's going to, come out and tell Picard that, yeah, I've been kind of spying on you. So I think that's going to be a reveal. 173 people here. That's awesome. Everybody hit like. And if the more people that hit like, it'll clear up the signal. That's what happens all the time. So Doug Van Dorn puts in $5. Do you think Agnes is really on the up and up? Could she have been convinced by O to pretend to side with Picard? Or is she a spy going along with him? I think she was forced by O to kind of... O probably threatened her that your career will be over unless you help me, and she is going to reveal herself at some point, I think. Torath, 69, $5. I like the uniforms JL and Rafi wore in the beginning. Yeah, the uniforms were great. We've talked about them a little bit. I'm sure we're going to do another video on them after this episode for sure, because we got such a better look at them. So, her arrival at Chateau Picard was odd timing. It was indeed. It was indeed. I know one of our people that work with us, I'm not going to say, actually thinks that she's working with the Romulans, and that I don't buy it for 5 seconds. But yeah. Jarzia puts in $5. Hugh said those Romulans were the only ones ever assimilated that he knew of, but that seems unlikely given that the Romulan outposts and the guy in Voyager Unity. Exactly. Sylvia said the same thing. It's like, well, Q said that they were the only. I'm like, you're being too literal, I think. I think he means on this cube particularly. Sylvia's got a theory that something about the Romulans, when they assimilate Romulans, that's why the Matrix destabilized and the cube separated from the Borg, essentially, was because there's something about the Romulans when they get assimilated. I don't buy that for any amount of time. Could the Doctor be Commander? Oh, no. No, she could not. Do you think we will see the real Borg Collective? Probably not, no. I don't think they're going to make an appearance. At least in this season, anyway. Jeff Jacobs, $2, paying for the better stream and patience of chat. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Like I said, hit those likes. 193 people watching. The stream always ends up clearing up, so just be patient with it, and I really apologize for that. Nothing I can do about it, guys. But yeah, this one had a lot of interesting action. Some people complained that, he hit the guy over the back of the head with a bottle, even though he was wearing a helmet. I thought the same thing initially, but it was more of a momentum thing. He was coming through the door, kind of leaning forward, running in, and he got smashed in the back of the head with a bottle. That's a bit of weight there. That's going to push down. So I don't have any issue with that, really. So, yeah, I mean, and it was interesting. The guy did the same thing. He bit that pill and spewed the acid out, so, and then disappeared. So there we go. We got confirmation it is a pill. Jason 6690, $2. Soji gets deactivated by comms with her mom. Yep, well, we speculated about that when Dodge contacted her mom as well, because when she mentioned Picard, it kind of, the screen flickered for a second. We thought, okay, her mom's not real, her mom's a hologram or something. So when this happened, and she asked when Soji asked if Dodge was all right, the mom is like, yeah, I talked to her today, she's fine, she wants to get a puppy. So it was kind of a trigger in her brain, I think, that to shut her down. Again, I think it's Maddox that's responsible for that kind of thing. We'll have to see about that, though. She did seem triggered at one point when the Romulan lady put the gun to her head. Seems like Dodge was very quick in reacting to get over there. Could be those android skills in effect. So who knows for sure. But hold on one second, guys. All right, there we go. So, yeah. Twins being activated seems like they had a mission. That knowledge. Yeah, but asking about the cube. What is the mission? We don't know. We don't know. Narek in this one didn't impress me at all. His acting seemed weird and not as good as it was in the last episode. So I wasn't impressed with Narek. I don't know why his Romulan sister has Romulan ears again and is back on the cube. Because Commander O was threatening her about her career. Of course, it was probably talking about the non-Starfleet career, but I found that interesting for sure. And we got confirmation. Trekyards, you notice the weird pacing going on. Yes, I did. I did notice that. We also got confirmation that there's different Romulans look different from different regions because he's a northerner like you. stubborn, a stubborn northerner like you, and she taps him on the forehead. So I love that. That's what Discovery needed for its Klingons to explain the whack Klingons. Is just different regions of the planet. It makes perfect sense. So, um, what else are we talking about today? No real canon violations. In fact, there's quite a few good canon mentions from the ENH, the Emergency Navigational Hologram, who was the Irish version. Talked about Picard being the first head contactor of the Q, whatever it was, defeated the Borg and prevented the assimilation of Earth. The Arbiter of Accession for Klingon, Enterprise, Captain of Enterprise D and E, and also worked with Spock. So there's a lot of great references in there for that. I really love that. Ensign Ricky, $10. My thoughts on episode 3, since we now know that the Northern Romulans have a more extended forehead than the normal-looking Romulans, I'm now convinced that the Disco Klingons are just Northern Klingons. I don't think they're Northern Klingons. I think they're lower Klingons. They come from the depths, like the Morlocks. So that's what I think. That's why they have the orc-like appearance. Maybe. Who knows? Who cares? They'll probably explain that at Discovery. Maybe not. Probably not. Whatever. Who cares? But yeah, I kind of like that. What else did we learn? Oh, there was a little Easter egg of sorts, or a Gorn egg, if you will. When Raffi was going through the information to find Maddox, she pulled up some information, and right beside it said Gorn egg, right beside a file name. I do a screen cap of it. We'll talk about it tomorrow when we do our full reaction review, I'm sure. But Gorn egg, could it be that that's the egg that was the program that made the synths go crazy? Who knows? But there was a Gorn egg reference, which was kind of neat, so I like that. What else was I going to say? I don't understand as well. I don't understand why Raffi got fired. Because she's like, oh, great, the CNC is now messaging me. The CNC is now messaging me, so, you hand in your resignation and I get fired. Well, why are you getting fired? You'd think they would call her in and say, you know what, are you with us? Your admiral friend just handed in his resignation. Are you still going to go ahead with this stupid scheme, or are you going to fall in line? Now, unless Picard kind of threw her under the bus when he was in there talking to them, because he was saying, getting the fleet back up and trying to initiate this rescue. So I don't understand about that. Caleb Horn, $5. Yay, more badass Loris scenes. Loved all the hidden phasers. Do you think Romulan pretty boy Narek will end up compromised by his feelings for Soji? The thought crossed my mind, but I don't think that would be the case. At least I hope not. I kind of want him to just be a douchebag. They kind of heading that way, it seems, especially with the comment that his sister made. Don't fall in love. So I certainly hope not, but so I'm still here, guys. I'm just answering a text message real quick. Oi. I did like the ship. I did like the new ship. I like it a lot more than I used to. I like the helm console with the astrogator thing in the center. I think that the displays on that are kind of cool looking. The holograms, still a bit of a for me, but I'm sure we'll get used to them. There's no real LCARs or anything in this universe, it seems like, that look really good. So I got annoyed with how many times Raffi called Picard JL. A lot of people have had issues with the name JL. They just say it doesn't roll off the tongue, it doesn't sound right, it's not a good nickname. But I mean, other people call him John Luke, so JL, I don't see an issue with it. So I don't know why everybody's so up in arms about it. gonna try something here. I gotta shut something down. There we go. So overall, I mean, like I said, I like this probably about as much as the first one. I don't remember what I ranked the first one though. I'm gonna have to think about that. It definitely ranks higher than last week's for me, just because it was more down my alley as far as I guess pacing and action goes. So I mean, there's that, but I feel like the first one and this one are the better of the three so far. But now that we've finished the pilot essentially, because the first three episodes were the pilot, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. Because it's just going to get more exciting, I think. Doug Van Dorn puts in $2. Comment on Rafi playing rich versus poor card. Oh yeah, that bugged me. You sitting in your grand chateau with the big oak wood beams and the vintage furniture. I'd show you around my place, but it's basically a hovel, so that'd be humiliating. It was a little bit much, you know. Um, and what the fuck happened to Vasquez Rocks? Seriously, it literally said Vasquez Rocks. So for once, Vasquez Rocks in Star Trek is actually Vasquez Rocks instead of an alien planet. That's fantastic. I love that idea. However, I've been to Vasquez Rocks and it's quite built up and populated around there. Like you go on top of the rock, you can actually look out and see homes. But when they have this wide shot, it's just mountains. Like, did something happen? Did that part of LA get like annihilated? I don't understand. Prime 1351 $1.99. How small is the ship? How small the ship is kind of justifies the window. Absolutely, I have no issues with that. Um, because of the size of the ship and the way you've even got the windows on the side, it's very much like a runabout that way. So I don't have an issue with the window on this ship at all. Even the paint scheme is interesting, but it's very reminiscent of the shuttles we see in Discovery with the red striping on them. So I'm not quite sure what's up with that. It just seems like flair for the sake of flair with no real explanation as to why. But let's see. Hold on, guys. Okay. Uh, were you there in the year 2399? I was not, no. So it'll be interesting to see what happens between now and then to make Vasquez Rocks look like that. Trekyards, another odd thing that they were beaming out the Romulan Dodge took out, but they beamed out no one at Picard's place. What are they going to do with those bodies? That's a very good question. Not sure. And actually, you know what? The plan seems backwards. The plan seems 100% backwards. Wouldn't it make more sense to kill Soji on the Romulan occupied Borg cube with Romulan agents, because it's Romulan, than to try to kill Dodge on Earth, the center of Starfleet, in San Francisco, when it's the center of Starfleet? And I know that Picard says in this one there must be Starfleet compliance, or complacency, or compliance, whatever, because of the attacks. But if you're going to seduce one of them and kill the other for your plan, wouldn't it make more sense to seduce the one that's on Earth? I know she had a boyfriend, but I'm sure there's ways around that. It just seems really stupid the way it was handled. I kind of noticed that on like my third viewing of it. I'm like, so they have her on the ship, and the Romulan Narek is like really close to her. Obviously, the sister's there. It'd be the perfect place to kill her. Why did they try killing Dodge at Earth? So I just don't quite buy the plan. I don't understand the plan. They're looking for the nest. Did she tell you to reveal the location of the nest for you? Um, what? It, it it just comes across as stupid. Floex 831 499. Nothing happened to Vasquez, Captain. Just CGI omission for the show. Well, I understand this, but they give you a big aerial shot of Vasquez rocks, and trust me, I've been there. It doesn't look like that. So something must have happened in the years between now and then to make it look like that. It was stupid. It should be built up more. It's not really in the middle of nowhere. So I thought it was a weird thing. And yeah, the EXO getting fired, Raffi getting fired just doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Like, none. Why would she be punished? Because Picard's a tool. You know? Unless, like I said, she threw him under the bus, or he threw her under the bus, and implicated her in a bunch of stuff. They weren't supposed to kill her on Earth. That was a big blunder. I know, but why are they trying to kidnap her when they have her sister? Because that was the plan, to kidnap her, essentially. Why are they have her sister on a Romulan-owned Borg cube? She's essentially already on Romulan territory. So to go after Daj in such a manner makes no sense. I know that killing Daj was an accident. I get it. Totally understand. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying the plan is faulty, at best. Someone in the chat was saying that LA was destroyed in the quake of 2047 and not built up in the 300 years since. Okay, sure. Fleet Paw, Swiftback, $1.99. 157 likes with 215 watching. Can we do 200? Hashtag make Swiftpaw pay. She probably got fired because she tried fighting her case more than he did. Well, she basically, when she was walking into the building, she says, "Oh, great, you resign and I get fired." So she already kind of accepted the fact she was getting fired. If she wanted to stay in Starfleet and make a difference, even behind the scenes, she had the opportunity to do so and fight for it, because I'm sure she would have gone up against the board of admirals who would have been like, we just tendered Admiral Picard's resignation. You are his XO. What's your situation? Do you still want to go ahead with this rescue operation? I'm sure she said yes, but given the conversation they had, you would think it would have gone more along the lines of, oh, well, I can probably make more of a difference here. That's what going through her head. So I'm just going to say it's the right thing to do, and not to the point where you get fired. I can see her getting demoted. I can see her getting put off a starship and to desk duty, something like that. But Zeke puts in $4.99. Was the ENH supposed to have an awfully fake sounding Irish accent? I believe so. The ENH had the Irish accent, the EMH had an English accent, and then, Axel Rios himself had a Spanish accent. So, yes, because it's not ENH. Rios doesn't sound Irish. Yes. I love that he programs all of his emergency holograms with his own face, though. It's like, wow, narcissist much? But I love it. I love his character so far. I think it's great. So, no real issues there. Looking forward to seeing more of both of those, well, all three of those characters. There's probably more, too. Maybe there's an emergency command hologram like we saw in Voyager with the Doctor, which I love, by the way. Activate ECH. You see the pips, like, on his collar. But who knows? Who knows how many holograms the ship has? But StarMax, $5. Hello, Captain. What are your thoughts on the search for the EXO was doing? Hello, Captain. What are your thoughts on the search that the EXO was doing? Singled out Gornag from the searching. Maybe a Gorn appears on the show. I already mentioned that. It'll be hard to say. It was in the information with she was tracking down Bruce Maddox with. So it could be, even like I said, an Easter egg, some kind of program that would perhaps allow allow the synth attack. It was it was infiltrated the synths. Who knows? Um, so yeah, Rio Cisco. He wasn't getting a tattoo. We thought he was getting a tattoo based on the scene. He just had a big piece of shrapnel in his arm. Which, what happened to you? I didn't die. All right, great. Thanks for the explanation. And then they talk about the navigational sensors are cleared up. It's scraped right off. So I don't know what happened with the navigational sensors, but there's a story there somewhere. We know now that the fleet wasn't a mothball ships. No, yeah. They mentioned mothballing ships from other areas, as she said, but yeah. He was on a heavy cruiser. Way weird way to describe a ship. Not at all. The Enterprise was a heavy cruiser. The TOS one. It was light cruisers, frigates. It's very much a Starfleet battles way to describe a ship. But I agree. In the show, it's a weird way to describe a ship. He didn't say you were on a Galaxy class or you were on a whatever class, which he really should have, in my opinion. Got somebody, for one reason, one of the admins is arguing with me about Vasquez Rocks. Um, Dude, I've been there. you can see houses, and the highway's right there. Anyway, not a big deal. Okay, I don't know why this argument's going on. But yeah, I want to hear his story. I want to hear his description, like what happened with his ship. I can't even remember the name of it. It's some weird name. I have it written down for our notes for tomorrow, but from the screen caps. But yeah, you won't find any record of that ship because Starfleet erased all reference to it. It's like, oh really? So Enterprise E was a heavy cruiser as well. Yes. Yes, it was. Anyway, what else are we talking about? How many more crew members do you think are going to join this ragtag crew? I think this is it. I think there's only 4 of them. I know we're going to eventually get Hugh and Soji on board, and 7 of 9, I guess. I really expected 7 of 9 in this episode. And why? I saw the preview for the next episode. They seem to go to this free cloud place, and it looks like Maddox probably isn't there. Maybe he got kidnapped by Romulans because there's that Romulan original bird of prey um, firing at them, and he's like, "Where'd that come from?" I think that ship maybe scoops Maddox. Maybe Maddox isn't really there, because then eventually they go back to Earth, and then they go to the Romulan place to get Elf Boy. So I don't know exactly what the situation is with all of that, how this is going to play out. I thought for sure once they left Earth, they were going to be gone from Earth till later in the series or the season. And I expected when that Romulan came through the door and it got shot, I expected that to be 7. Um, but anyway. And correct warp effect, absolutely. And the music, spot on, fantastic job. So a lot of great things going on as far as that goes. I really appreciated all those little touches. The music was fantastic. The music in this episode is so great. There's so many moments. Like Rio says, have a seat. And Captain Picard, or Admiral Picard walks by the captain's chair and stops and pauses and looks at it. And you get that beat. So that was awesome. Caleb Horn, $2. His ship had a discovery encounter. Met Michael Burnham. A discovery encounter. Sure. Free Cloud, the destination for Picard and crew to end at the end of the episode. Soji appears to sleep with a stuffed Mugatu, a reference to the original series, A Private Little War. It doesn't look like a Mugatu. It's quite different, actually. But Prime 1351, $5. Thank you very much, guys. All the super chatters, you guys are fantastic. Thank you. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button, and be sure to comment. And if you want me to read it and discuss it, I will. The best way to do that is super chat those so I actually see it. So it seems like the signal's cleared up a bit now. Hopefully it stays that way. Like I said, it usually ends up clearing up and then is good. So Prime 1351, $5. There was a Federation phaser firing on the hero ship in the trailer for next week. Now, how do you know it was a Federation phaser? Just because it was red? It seemed like a pretty big goddamn phaser. I think it's maybe some kind of large phase cannon or something. Who knows? I don't think it's a Starfleet vessel. I mean, there's no indication of that for me. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. And yes, Space Aileron is going to take a sword to a phaser fight. Yeah. Apparently Picard taught him how to fence by the looks of things. But that's talking about the next episode, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. FlowX 831, $10. Cap, sorry, I misunderstood your question. Nothing happened, Vasquez. I think they shot it differently because of the fires last year. I'm from Hollywood near LAX, about an hour or so from there. Well, it's obviously not a shot. It's not a. It's an altered shot. You got Vasquez Rocks, the main part, the very recognizable main part, and then the rest looks like all CG. Like those mountains in the distance and everything looks all CG. So it's obviously been. It's not how it looks. So, but who cares? I don't even know why I brought it up. I'll just not talk about it anymore. At least we got off the planet after 3 episodes. Yeah, but we're going to be right back at the chateau in the next episode, which pisses me off. Like, yeah, it's a beautiful chateau. They probably paid a lot for it, so get as much shooting there as possible done. Fine, but I want good stuff to happen, so let's get the hell out of here. Romulan disruptors don't have a stun mode. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty great. 233 of you here. Everybody hit that like button, guys, please. I'm just trying to think of other things to talk about. Like I said, if you want to hear the full breakdown, full review, full episode discussion with both Samuel and myself, tune in tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We might bump it up to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but keep an eye on Facebook and your YouTube for that. Chances are it'll still be at 5, but because they usually run a little bit longer for these ones, we might start at 4. We'll have to see. I have to discuss that with Samuel tomorrow, but I don't know how that's going to go. So depends on our schedules and what we have going on. So, but yeah, so tune in tomorrow for all the scene by scene breakdowns, little Easter eggs, things you might have missed. And yeah, tune in for that for sure. Fleet Pass Whipback puts in $1.99. Thoughts on Ramda and Soji scenes was interesting. Um, it was interesting. I don't quite know what the hell's going on with that. I called fortune teller last during our prediction video yesterday, so yay for that. But I love how she's like, "Are you? Which one are you? The one that lives or dies?" I thought that was great. The whole I hate the word mythology. There's no such word in the Romulan language, but a shared structural or a shared cultural narrative is a really good idea from um, psychological and what can I think of the word point of view. I can't think of the word. Anyway, so I thought those scenes were interesting, a little bit weird, and I didn't quite understand what was going on. I need to rewatch or hopefully learn more about that. Apparently, Soji is the destructor. Um, and it freaked out all the other Romulans when that was heard. So StarMax puts in $5. Why are the Romulan disruptors firing phaser effects? It should be green, not orange, red, or blue. I think my only gripe with the episode. Well, I mean, they're future disruptors. I don't know. Yes, they had stun settings, apparently. Okay. Do you watch The Ready Room with Will Wheaton? I haven't watched the one for this episode. I did watch the other two, but usually a day or so after the episode, so I haven't watched it yet for this episode. So I'll say no, even though I do want to see it. And I have seen the other ones. I just haven't seen this one yet. I did think it was funny though that Picard was taking out a guy with a disruptor with his cane. Like he had like a cane in his hand for some reason. I thought that was kind of funny. A little bit sad, but funny. Um, Fight scenes again were a little bit messy in my opinion. They were a little cluttered. They didn't really. I don't know. It's just kind of a mess on screen for those fight scenes, but I could be nitpicking. If the Romulans somehow created the Borg and that's the twist, I hope they can pull it off. I hope 1,000 times over that that is not the case. That would be entirely fucking stupid. Maybe that's why, if these are the only Romulans assimilated, which I don't believe for a second either, that's why this ship had the I can't think right now. God damn. Had the separation from the Borg collective. Benjamin Handelman, $5. Just want to say Laris and Zaban are so awesome, and I wish we could get dozens of episodes of just the two of them bossing Picard around. Yeah, I want a spin-off show with the two of them. Call it Tal Shiar at 2 o'clock or something silly. I don't know. They are kind of great. I love both their characters. Donnie says, hello, Stuart, and all. Sorry for the long delay. Long story short, I saw a brand new episode of Picard late last night before hitting the hay. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. The signal's just... I don't want to shoot my internet. It works fine every other time, honestly. I can stream from the PS4. Sometimes it gets a little laggy from there, but I'm not only playing online Bridge Crew, but I'm also streaming it, and it's fine. As soon as I want to do one thing on here, it decides to act like this. Trekyards, you think Laura will still show up at some point? Maybe he's behind everything. It's a distinct possibility that he'll show up. With him being behind everything, highly dubious. I highly doubt that, but the name Laura is going to be mentioned for sure. It has to be. Either by Maddox or by somebody. So many references to the disparity. of wealth in this episode. Yeah, there are. The Romulans have the worst assassins ever. They haven't completed a mission yet. I totally agree. Jarzia puts in $2. Your new Elcars is giving me a craving for jubes. Sorry. I just love it. I love the TOS aesthetic. And Dystopian Guy did a fantastic job with it. So thank you. 1,000 thank yous for that. I love it. Have you heard the possible spin-off Pike series might be a go according to Atomic Youth? Yeah, I don't believe it for 5 seconds. I'll believe it when I see it. Just like the Star Trek 4 thing. Oh, Star Trek 4 is going to happen now. And we're like, we'll believe it when we see it. Guess what's canceled again? Yeah. So it's just all bullshit. It's just all words until somebody actually pulls the trigger. And then we're not going to talk about it until it is official anyway, so. Why was she in the trailer? Why was who in the trailer? Audio is solid, Cap, not showing screenshots or anything. It's all good, man. It's not, though, Jeff, but thank you. As long as you can hear me, that's great. But, I really like when things work perfectly, as they should. Was she smoking weed? No, she was smoking snake oil or something. I forget what she called it. But apparently it's something she's done for a while because, still smoking this and getting paranoid. Some things never change, she says. So apparently it was a thing with her. She's definitely got a drinking problem. She was down in that bottle of wine. She had some, different bottles on the table. Saurian brandy bottle and Aldebaran whiskey, and so she's got a little bit of an issue. She's broken as a person. Although I don't know why Picard never went to visit her. I love that she said that. You only came to me when you needed a ship, an unauthorized or an unregistered ship, and a pilot. You couldn't come and see me just because over the years. Mark, smoking as a dragon leaf. Who said that? The drug Raffi is smoking is a dragon leaf, I believe. She says snake leaf. I think it's snake leaf. I'd have to look. But yeah, she says snake something about it. So Mark Mapleback puts in $2. Coincidence that Measure of Man was just on? Possibly? Not sure. Yeah, snake leaf. Lucky they didn't beam straight into his room and start to chuck knives around this time. Yeah, they're very sloppy in their execution, and you would think it didn't actually play well because Jabon, whatever the fuck his name, I can't remember anything anymore. My brain's just turning off. I apologize, I'm tired. But he was going through, we got bread, we got this, and way better than Replicator, I might add. And also this, and it falls, and as he ducks, it hits the alarm thing. And without missing a beat, he's like, they hit the alarm. It's like, he came to that realization way too fast, even for a Tal Shiar agent. It was a bad line, poorly delivered. I'm sure we're going to hear Samuel complaining about it tomorrow. Gene Owansky Jr., $1.99. Thank you very much with no comment, but thank you. Everybody hit like, 242 of you here, and hopefully the video stays nice and cleared up like it is right now. So, but yeah, they're piss poor at their jobs, these Romulan assassins. And not only that, but the Tal Shiar are also morons that are with Picard because they take out all the guys, right? And then there's one left that almost kills them. Thank God for Agnes. And then I personally would be checking the rest of the grounds, because if I was beaming in Romulan troops, I would beam them not only to that one location but also a few other locations on the vineyard, have them come in different ways at different times. So yeah, you dispatch this group of 6 guys. You still got 6 guys coming in the next 5 minutes, and another 6 guys coming 10 minutes after that. that's the way I would do things to make sure that they got done properly. So, how does an unregistered ship enter Earth orbit without being uh, logged by orbital control? That's a great question. And that's another thing I really appreciated on this episode. When you saw Earth, you saw like shit flying around it. You saw there were lots of little ships and things orbiting Earth in the distance, which was great. Somebody complained we didn't see space dock. It could have been on the other side of the planet. It could have been over just to the right, to the left, whatever. I'm sure there's lots of traffic, but yeah, space dock control, Earth orbital control, they would probably want to know what's going on. I'm sure he's got a fake transponder or fake, something to get him into the Federation space. So I'm not too worried about that kind of situation. It wasn't too much of a complaint for me. Going to warp right out of Earth orbit, though, that's a bit of an issue. Um, because we've heard many times that, warping inside the solar system is dangerous. But yet it happens all the time now in Discovery, and, it's a thing now. No one calls the police to report attempted murder. Somebody mentioned that earlier, that when Picard and her beamed into Dodge's apartment, it was an active crime scene. It wasn't, though. Nobody knows about it. The only person that knows about it is Picard. Nobody knows that Dodge was dead or that her boyfriend got killed there. The Romulans cleaned up everything. There was no missing persons report because Dodge, I'm sure, didn't file one for her boyfriend. Or maybe his family's getting worried now. I don't know, but I don't think it's an active crime scene. So that wasn't an issue for me. The ship was cloaked. I think Raffi and Picard were lovers, like Picard and Beverly. Oh, God, no. Ugh, no. I definitely don't think that at all. No. Another thing that's interesting is when Agnes comes aboard the ship and Raffi's like, really? She's going to bring Angus along? Agnes along? Without any security check, not even the most basic. Because, yeah, there's a lot of about her. Like I said, some of the people I've talked to today think that she's working with the Romulans, that she's always been this, against Picard. I think her reaction in the first one is quite genuine when he asks about a synthetic organic, but whatever. I think it might be possible she's kind of knows where Maddox is, or at least has an indication that she was kind of keeping to herself. So when she says, "Why do you want to go to Free Cloud?" I thought that was interesting. The fact that, yeah, Commodore O came up and talked to her. Again, I think she was totally innocent, just a regular Daystream institution person. And then Commander O came up, talked to her, basically threatened her with her career and probably some other stuff. And now, as the deal she made with the Commodore likely is that she'll go with Picard, she'll report back to O, telling her exactly what is going on, where they are, and at the end of the season, she's going to end up admitting, because they're going to keep finding them all the time, and she's going to end up admitting to Picard that, yeah, O threatened me, so I've been kind of working with her behind the scenes. That's what I think is going to happen with that situation. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm rambling. I know it did. I know the Enterprise warped from Starbase One. I'm well aware. They're also stealing a goddamn ship. The motion picture, you're not going to warp in a solar system. There's many other instances where they discuss that. Even in TNG, you see them leaving the planet a lot of time. It's just Matt Pearson, 5 pounds. I love when Picard called Raffi while she was researching and told her to get on with it. Good to see a sign of Picard getting his balls back. Yeah. So I take it you're doing some research? No. Well, here's all the information on Maddox. I don't want it. All right, carry on. He just leaves it with her. It's an indication he knows her very well. bet he knows that she'd be looking into this even after she didn't want to help him out. She didn't want to go with him. Um, he knows her well enough that, yeah, she's looking into it. So I'm just going to dump all this information on her. I know she won't be able to resist looking at it, and it's going to pique her interest. So I thought that was fantastic, actually. I think she's totally besotted with Maddox. I mean, that might be a possibility. But she does seem very much eager to see Daj and Soji because, as she described it, it's like a miracle that she never expected to see in her lifetime. Which I love that. I hope she's not a bad person. I really hope that Agnes isn't a bad person. But I do think that she's right now kind of being coerced into doing some things she doesn't want to do. Where was number one when the Romans attacked? That's a good question. I don't know where number one was. It raises an interesting question about why her life was so bad if she doesn't need money to improve herself. I think Starfleet was her only joy in life, because one of the points she makes specifically is they took away my security clearance. It's like, oh well, whoop-de-doo, But she makes that point, so I think Starfleet was really important to her, and so she just spiraled down into alcohol and the snake weed or snake, whatever it was. Yeah, I don't know. It raises an interesting question though, and the fact that, yeah, she basically besmirches Picard for his chateau, the big with the big oak beams and whatever. I was kind of like, what? Wow, where is this coming from? In an interview, they said that the dog was a rescue dog that wasn't good at acting, and they had to cut him from some scenes they wanted him in, but a sweet dog. Sure. It's like the best dog ever, from what I've heard from Patrick Stewart, so um, I think they mean ramen. Somebody's like, ramen or noodles? I don't know. I missed something there. I missed something in the chat. But 251 of you here, that is great. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I promise the video isn't always this choppy and shitty, but it's back now. It's good now, so hopefully it stays that way. And if you have anything you'd like to contribute as far as helping out the channel, and just even a theory, a question, whatever, super chat is a great way to do so. So keep that in mind, guys. 58 minutes though we've been doing this, and I think I've covered everything in the episode pretty much, unless there's more that you guys want to talk about and discuss specifically. Like I said, if not, and you want to see the full episode review and breakdown with myself and Samuel, check that out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and which might be 4 p.m. We'll see. Just keep an eye on Facebook and on YouTube for that, but should be around 5. And we would love to see you guys there as well. So keep that in mind as well. I'll probably be going soon. Might do another 10-20 minutes. We'll see. And Joe says yes, that losing security clearance and high. Yeah, I get it. But she got basically shit canned from Starfleet, so I got the feeling he was like, oh crap, I should have invited her to live with me. Well, you can't be responsible for everybody. I don't know, it just seems like, I don't know where she was coming off with that. I think she just wanted to hurt him. But Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. We did it, 205 likes. Woohoo! Well, with 250 people here, we can get 225 likes easily. So I challenge you. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Dave Van Dorn puts in $5. Says Picard doesn't have command responsibility, so Stewart has taken that stick out of his butt. More like when he was on Ryza. Cool difference. Not quite sure what you mean there. Actually, it's funny, that episode of him on Ryza is on right now on CTV Sci-Fi. It was on as I came upstairs here, so um, yeah. Well, I love how she looks to him at the beginning, and she's like, "So, what's the plan? You've always got like this. You're the guy with the plans. What's your last ditch effort for a plan?" My resignation was my last ditch effort. I thought that was great. And then he says, I never thought they'd accept it. She's like, well, of course you wouldn't. So I think that was a bit of a stab at him. Like, again, you're so arrogant, Picard, because you're the great Picard. But it made a lot of sense. Jonathan Frakes directing the next two episodes. Well, that's good to hear. So Rios has PTSD, Raffi has drug problems, Girardi lacks real world experience, and Picard's a terminal. Well, that's a great way to sum it up. They've never been consistent about warping out of a solar system, though, through the various Star Trek series. This is very true. However, it is stated that it shouldn't warp within a system. So, not a big deal. I just hope the next episode is as good as I think it's going to be. Although again, we're going to see some scenes at the chateau, which, fine. We're going to get more of the two Romulans. That's good. I like that. But why are we going back to the estate? So the next one, they go to Free Cloud, apparently. Then they go maybe get Romulan Boy from the Romulans Only bar. And then go back to Earth? Or they go to Free Cloud, then go back to Earth? I think that's probably the plan, because I think there's a scene of Raffi sitting in his study there, and she says, going there is not only stupid, but it's weird, or something. and then they go get Elf Boy. So I don't know what the situation's going to be like next time, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. And I love that we're all on equal footing now. A lot of people saw the first three episodes at the red carpet premiere, which essentially the first three episodes were the opening pilot for the show. So now everybody's on the same footing. We're all getting it fed to us week to week. So you don't have to feel like there's somebody out there that knows more than you do about what's going on. No mention of Hugh. What do you think of the TNG alum? I thought Hugh was great. It was really good to see Hugh. He still is very much Hugh. So I think that's actually done really well. I hope we see a lot more of him. I hope he does kind of go with Soji when they leave the cube. I hope he's a big part of it. I don't know how 7 of 9 is going to tie into it, whether she's been in touch with them somehow, or if she even knows Hugh. It'll be interesting to see. But why did Hugh keep his name Hugh? I mean, this Romulan lady, Ramda, she has her original name. Probably because there are records of the ship that she was on, but Hugh was a name given to him by Beverly and Geordi. So why wouldn't he go back to his real name when he gets deborgified? You know what I'm saying? Kind of a weird situation there. Trekyards. To me, not warping in system is like speed limit or how you're supposed to wait 3 seconds at every stop sign. Most people are just like, F that. Well, it's more of a safety issue. There's a lot of debris and a lot of shit in the solar system. So that's the reasoning. I know there are deflectors, I get it, but anyway. I hope they all fix each other and pray Picard gets saved. At Trekyards, it's all that they're looking for Picard and they can just come and go like they are. I thought the same thing with Agnes coming to the chateau and just walking in, just you can just go into anybody's house, I guess. Hugh was a pure drone, though. Hugh may have been born Borg. Never got that sense. But you could be right. In terms of Picard not being stopped, it's not a police state, is it? Can United Earth say who gets to leave the system and who doesn't? If you went to the CNC of Starfleet and said, I have this plan, and I'm going to do this plan, and then the Commodore of Starfleet Intelligence, or whatever it is aware of your situation, you'd think, yes, maybe. They'd at least be watched and monitored. But Jars, you got $2. You might have been assimilated very young. Brian McFarlane and Trekyards. Hey, Kat, do you see Picard as a darker Star Trek series? If so, how do you feel about that? It feels a little darker. I don't know if I'd say, or if a lot of people would say it's darker than Deep Space Nine yet. You got to think too. He says that Starfleet was complacent in this situation, and we find out that from Raffi that somebody let the attack on Mars happen, one of the higher ups, because they didn't want to help the Romulans, so they allowed the attack to go through. It's very, very reminiscent of Star Trek 6. So if this is dark, it's got a Star Trek 6 vibe to it. Maybe not as dark as some episodes of DS9, but it's definitely got a good feel to it. It doesn't feel too dark to me yet. I don't really see any kind of dystopian future or anything like that. The Starfleet conspiracy thing, it's a small targeted area, I think. It's not going to be Starfleet wide. So, I don't know. It just has a very Star Trek 6 feel to me. So... Also, if the issue with in-system warping was related to potential debris, then perhaps it makes more sense in post-Nemesis universe where sensors may have advanced. Still agree doing it in Discovery is bad. Gene Itwansky Jr. puts in $1.99. I suspect that Commodore O is Riemann because of the sunglasses. That's such a stupid decision. And in that scene too, her Commodore rank pips were crooked, visibly crooked. And at the beginning of the show, when Picard was 14 years earlier, Picard wearing his Admiral's uniform, his comm badge was crooked. It's like, for fuck's sakes, how long does it take you to film a scene? Make sure the comm badges are straight. Make sure your rank pips are straight. It's a small thing, but it's noticeable, especially on a military, or not military, Starfleet uniform. That was I joking around about why she needed glasses. At least one reason. Like I said, they're probably super secret spy glasses that they're like Google Glass. They show her 15 different displays on the one lens. The other lens has like an X-ray and lie detector combination. So she's looking at this Agnes lady, and she's like, "Yo, what did you talk to Picard about?" "Well, blah, 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 blah. You're lying." "Oh, I'm a bad liar anyway, so here's the truth." Maybe that's what it is. Some kind of weird spy tech. Who knows? Leaf House went back at 0.99. We did it. 225 likes. That is awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Sunglasses could mean from your universe with photosensitivity. I mentioned that earlier. That's laughable at best. They didn't even know what the fuck they're talking about on Discovery with that anyway, because no one else from the Mirror Universe has ever once stated that they have a light sensitivity. And the only reason Lorca had it was because he was in an accident. There was an explosion, flash of light, so I had to take those drops. But yeah, then chalk it up to a line of dialogue saying, "Oh, everyone in the mirror universe is light sensitive." It's like, what the what? Please God, no. Sideways is better than the freaking magnetic ring pips stuck together. Only slightly. Only slightly. Terran humans are only light sensitive. Yes, only the humans in the mirror universe. Could it be Section 31 cover up? God, no, please don't even mention Section 31 in this show. We don't need it. I think you might be right. The glasses were functional. I don't think I'm right. I was just joking, but the neuralizer protection built in just in case. There you go. There you go. Sonic sunglasses. No, they're quantum sunglasses. Anti-Trekker, $5. Starfleet is the military. The reporter said Picard was a military strategist in her bio of Picard in episode 1. Hashtag MePoo. Yes, I've made the argument many times that Starfleet is essentially the military as well, sir. But a lot of people disagree with me. It's fine. Maybe Lorca was from the mirror universe of the mirror universe. Ray-Ban, circa $23.99. That's right. Oh, they didn't say Ray-Ban on them, so they weren't real Ray-Bans. They were knockoffs. Perfect imperfection is a theme in this. Messing with the pimp rank could be part of that somehow. There's no reason to think that Romulans would have inherited Vulcan's inner eyelids. Wasn't it nuclear war that made the planet a desert planet to begin with? By then, the Romulans were gone. No. Nuclear war caused the... What? No. That's not a thing, I don't think. The chat just went to shit. Why is that? Oh, just waiting for Trekyards to finish so he can start his own live stream. Oh, well, I've been on for an hour and 12 minutes. My signal's choppy at best, so, you know, I'll kind of run out of things to say. I can definitely move over and allow you to have the floor, Anti-Trekker. I've only got 231 people here. At least you even throw in a super chat. Anti-Trekker threw in a $5 super chat. That impresses me to no end because he's a cheap bastard. Yeah, people think I'm a jerk, but really I am most of the time. You kind of are, but I still love you. Speaking of, I'm going to be sending you a parcel soon. Anti-Trekker's great. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out and subscribe. He's a good guy. He's got a good point of view. I really appreciate listening to him because he is pretty fair and balanced overall, and he doesn't really take shit from anybody, so I got to respect him for that. And just that deep down, you can tell he's just a good person. So, Christy D, do you feel like the storyline's going to drag out too long and ruin the series? No, I don't think so, but I could be wrong. What I'm saying is they could have evolved that way after the war. I very much doubt that. Very much doubt that. I knew what you were trying to say, but I very much doubt that. Very true, I am a cheap bastard, says Anti-Trekker. Yes, you are. Well, you know, I'm running out of stuff to say, guys, and Anti-Trekker is being pushy and wants me to get off the air, so you know how it is. Plus, I'm tired. I do have to get up early tomorrow because we got a lot of filming to do. We got to film our spoiler-free review, our spoiler-filled short review, then a couple of side episodes for the weekend, and then tomorrow afternoon or evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing our live breakdown and review analysis. So if you guys can join us for that, please do so. And otherwise, yeah, I should probably hit the hay soon because I do have to get up relatively early tomorrow. So, yeah, I guess go watch Anti-Trekker now. I might even watch for a few minutes. But he'll probably just insult me and be mean to me, so I don't think I will. He always says the meanest things to me. He says like, yeah, Trekyards is a great channel. Go check them out. They're grossly undersubscribed to. They know their shit. But when it comes to me, he's like, oh, he's a jerk. He makes fun of my, hairless chest, and he just always makes fun of me. He makes me sad. And on that note, I think I'll go. Thank you guys for watching. I know I outrank him, but anyway. Thanks guys for watching. Sorry the stream was a bit shit. It seems to be perfectly fine now. Of course, as I'm getting ready to leave, it always clears up. So, but if you stuck through it, I appreciate it. Hopefully these internet issues will get sorted at some point. I don't know what the issue is. I think we need a new modem router or something. I don't know. But I'm just babbling now because I'm wasting time. Because Anti-Tracker wants to get on the air. I don't know why it just doesn't go on the air. It's not like anybody that watches him is watching me. There might be 2 or 3 people, but seriously. Thank you, Mark. I love you too. I'm